Alright guys, welcome to our Thursday kettlebell class. Got mine all ready to go. We're just going to flow through a bit of a warm up and then explain what we're going to do and just have a bit of fun today. So, from where you're at, feet by hip width apart, big reach up to the ceiling and bring the hands back down, tuck the chin, roll the shoulders and lower down into a full hang. When you reach that full hang, slight bend in the knees, hands down to the floor and step back into a long plank position. From that long plank position into a downward facing dog. So hips high to the ceiling, push the heels into the floor, pad down one heel at a time, feel the stretch to the calf. Good, then slowly roll back through into that long plank position, down through a press up, reach the floor, into an upward dog. If you need to be on your elbows here, that's absolutely fine. From there, plant your feet back into the floor, into another downward facing dog. Again, pad those heels down, create that stretch. Come slowly back through into that long plank position, and then step your right foot up outside your right hand, or somewhere close to it. It doesn't matter if it's back a little bit. Right hand off the floor. Reach under the body and then up and around to the ceiling and get 5 big rotations. Okay, once you're done there, exactly the same thing on the other side. I bring that foot up outside the hand, same hand off the floor, reach under the body and turn and open. Good. Hand down, step back, drop down to the knees, and then roll on over to onto your back. Okay? Flatten your back, and we're going to go with left leg up straight, bend the right knee up, and right hand to the ceiling. Okay? And all we're going to do here is we're going to roll into a sit up position and come back down. Just do 5 for me. Keeping the arm perpendicular to the floor all the time, so the arm stays vertical all the time. Once you've got 5 and you're sitting up here, we're then going to bridge 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the 5th one, we're going to bring our knee right underneath our back hip. Okay, so I'm now in this position here. So my arm is still up to the ceiling, and all I want you to do is keep the arm straight and straighten up. So I'm now in the familiar half kneeling position. Hand goes back down. And what we've got is the hand is straight out in front of the knee, and we've got this kind of triangle shape. We'll just do 5 turns here. Notice my arm is straight all the time. On the 5th one, I'm standing here. I'm going to plant my back foot into the floor, and I'm going to lunge. And 5, and from here I'm going to come back down to the floor, hand down, bring that foot through, but my hips are still off the floor, sit down, roll back down. Then I'm going to switch my legs, switch my hand, and we're going to repeat that on the other side. So I've got left hand in the air with my left knee up, right leg out straight. I roll to one side and sit up, punching my hand to the ceiling all the time. We've got 5 reps. On the 5th rep, I stay in that upright seated position and I push my hips off the floor using that leg that's bent. So I'm pushing that foot into the floor and using my supporting hand, that back hand, to support. On the 5th one, I stay high, and all of this space here now, this straight leg, I bring underneath and put my knee underneath my hip. And again, now I've got this triangle, this tripod between my knee, my foot and my hand. From here, straighten up and back down. So I'm doing what's called partial kind of windmill here, keeping this arm straight and rotating down to the floor. On the 5th one, I stay here. I'm in that familiar half kneeling position now. Plant my back foot down and lunge. Remember, the lunge is really driven by pushing back on that front leg. Nice. Once you've done 5, down, unhook the foot, hand to the floor. I've got my tripod. I now brace on the hand and the foot to bring the foot through. Sit down, roll down, and rest. Whew. That's our warm up, guys. And pay attention to that flow, that Turkish get up, because we are going to use it to finish us off today. Okay? All right, cool. So, we're going to start with a little ladder of an RDL and a squat. But we're going to invert them. So we're going to do 10 down to 1 of squats and 1 up to 10 of the RDL. Okay, so what that will look like is my goblet squat. I'll hold my weight here and I'll do 10 reps, making sure that my feet are in the position I want them to be in. I squat through my full range, okay, and I'll do 10 repetitions. Once I finish 10 repetitions, I'm then going to move to my RDL. So from having the weight here for my squat, I'm going to lower it down. I'm going to hold the dumbbell right here, or the kettlebell right here, and I'm going to hinge at the hip, like I'm lowering the weight down towards the floor, but I want to keep the chest up. Notice my back position. If my hamstrings are tight, as that dumbbell gets in between my knees, that's probably going to be far enough. Alright? And you do the required number of reps. So you'll be 10 squats, 1 RDL, then 9 squats, 2 RDLs. So we descend in repetitions down to 1 on the squats, and we go up in repetitions, 1 repetition at a time, up the ladder to 10 RDLs. So 10, 1, 9, 2, 8, 3, 7, 4. You guys are smart enough, we'll get that, okay? Work through it nice and methodically, and all I need you to do is when you're done, give me the thumbs up. Okay? Good stuff. All right, here we go. So I'm going to pick my weight up. My feet are in a good solid squat position. My toes are set to about 11 and 1 on the clock face, and we start our squats. Nice and controlled, don't rush them. Control your breathing, control your posture. Once you've finished your squats, you drop that weight down, soft knees, and we hinge at the hips. That's 1 rep there. And then bring it back up and do 9 squats. So you can see how it's a bit relentless on the squats to start, along the quads. And the hamstrings will get a bit toasty towards the end. So we need 9 squats, and then work the weight down into 2 RDLs. Good, and then we come back up for 8 squats. Remember, you can break this up as you want to. Good, making sure the depth of the squat is a depth that allows you to keep your back flat to the floor. I'm readjusting my RDL position to bring my feet underneath my hips a little bit more, and I hinge and up. So it's a very hip dominant movement. I want my back to stay flat. I'm on to 7 now. One more. 7 and I'm on to 4 RDLs. So face on, my feet are a bit narrower than my squat. I've got soft knees, and you can see here I'm keeping my chest up all the time. Good. And then we bring weight up and I get 6. And into 5 RDLs. So side on, my hips travel backwards, trying to get the load into my hamstrings. I don't want my toes to come off the floor. Squeezing my bum as I stand. There's my 5. Down to 5 squats now. And 6 RDLs. Remember, if you need to take a breather, stop and take a breather. 4 squats. And 7. Keep the core nice and tight. Remember, load the legs. We want to make sure we're not getting a huge amount of movement through my lower back here. Good, keep methodically moving through. Break it up as you need to. I'm on 8 RDLs here. Making sure I'm actively contracting through my glutes as I stand, not allowing my back to round. Keep the length in the back. Good. Good. Just keep moving. Keep it under control. So remember, we're ascending through the RDLs, going up in number. And dropping down through the squats. So from 10 to 1 on the squats and 1 to 10 on the RDLs. I've got 1 squat left and 10 RDLs. Good. So remember, with that RDL, that is a hinge at the hip. Okay, and not a rounding or too much bend in the knees. Controlling the movement, thinking about how I load into those hamstrings. Awesome. And just keep moving on through. Up and down in the reps. And guys who are taking part, just give me a thumbs up or a skull and crossbones or whatever it might be to let me know when you're done. Just remember, methodically pace it out. Take your time. Mark is done. Great job. Good. Take a little breather. If you need to stretch or roll anything out, you can do. If you're done, just take a little time on the floor. Rock back and forth, tucking your chin in to open up the lower back. Once you've done 5 to 10 there, just get some lumbar rolls side to side. It's very heavy on the posterior chain there through the top of your hamstrings and your lower back. So just roll those things out. A couple of knee hugs as well to address the hips and the lower back. Good stuff, guys. Nicely done. Awesome. All right. Good job. Everyone grab a little drink. And we'll move on to what's next. Good stuff, guys, well done. Alright, what we got coming next is just some straight up sets of 10, okay? What we're going to do with our weight is, starting in this position here, we're going to step back with the same weight, with the same foot as the weight's in. So I'm going to step back, then I'm going to row, and I'm going to step back forward. So partial lunge, 1 row and up, step back, row and up. Okay, and we want a set of 10 on one side, before we move on to the set of 10 on the other side. So remember, as we step back, we want a bit of a bend in both knees before we row. Step back, row, step out of the lunge. Step back, row, and now once you've done your 10, switch hands, same again. Step back with the same hand as the same foot as what the weight is at, and then step up. So front arm, I'm stepping back, creating some space to row, and up. Step back, row, and up. Good. Excellent. Breathe and catch your breath. Nicely done, guys, well done. Okay, as soon as you finish left and right side, we go straight back and we go back to the original side. So we're going to get 3 rounds in total on each side. So the weight's in my right hand here. I'm going to step back with my right foot, turn down in a partial lunge position, but quite bent over, and then stand up. Step back and down, 2, up, down, 3, 4, 5. So we need to make sure as we step back, I also lean over so I can row. So my feet and my shoulders moving in the same direction. Making sure I keep my back nice and flat all the time. And then once I've done my reps, I turn over, step back, row, and up. Good. Making sure I've got load on that front leg before I row. And up and rest. Good, once you've done both sides twice, you've got one more loop and round to go. Take a little breather, catch your breath. I'm now going back to having the weight in my right hand. And I'm going to step back with my right leg. So from this side on, you'll see me step back and hinge forward so the weight's loaded on my front leg, and then I row and I stand. So front arm, I'm stepping back, I'm not stepping narrow, hinged over, and I roll that elbow going high to the ceiling. And from this side on, you see me step back so the weight's directly where my foot would have been, and I row and stand. Notice my posture all the time. I don't let the weight dictate my body position. Back stays flat, chest stays up. And then once I've done my 10 reps, I switch hands, exactly the same thing. Step long back into that lunge and row and stand. Nice and controlled, get into a good rhythm. Keep the core nice and tight. Good. And rest when you're done. Nice, guys. Nicely done. Oh, we've got a real troublemaker's just joined us. But she's too lazy to train anyway, isn't that right, Paige? Good stuff, guys. Once you've done your 3 rounds of that reverse lunge to row, Mark's done. Beautiful, well done, mate. Excellent, just give me a nod because obviously I can't see you guys. I've got no one on Zoom to take my timings off today. But nicely done. Good, catch your breath, have a little drink, walk around before we move on to what's next. Good stuff, guys. Danny's done as well. Awesome. Grab a drink and I'm going to talk you through what we're doing next before we start it, okay? So, what we've got coming up next is kettlebell or dumbbell up on one side, whichever side it's on, that's the knee that's going to go down to the floor. Then we drop the other knee. Then we're going to press. Then we're going to bring that knee up and stand. Down, down, press. Stand, stand. Down, down, press. Okay? Alright, so whichever side the weight is on, that knee goes down first and then comes up first. Okay, and we're going to do 10 on one side, 10 on the other. This is going to get really gassy, which is fine. And again, we're going to start in a few seconds. Yes, Mark, that's precisely it. Alright guys, cool. So, what we're going to do, bring that weight up to your, whichever side you want to start with. It can be left or right. I'm going to go with my right. Okay, bring it up. And then all we're going to do is drop right knee down, left knee down, press, then up, up, down, down, press, keeping the core nice and tight all the time. Down, down, press, and up. And the challenge with being down on the floor is that we're in a position where we don't get a lot of use of our legs, and I've got to keep and maintain my posture and the control of the rest of the body. If you're starting to struggle with the actual press, you're just going to work through the get up and get down, because oftentimes holding that weight here is enough anyway. Alright, got one more to go. Once you've finished on one side, safely transfer the weight across. I'm going to hit the other side. So remember, the weight's on my left side now, so I'm going to go down with this knee first, then switch, press. Oh, and same knee comes up first. Same knee down, press, same knee up. Oh, take your time so you don't get it wrong like me. Same knee down, press, same knee up. Making sure that that press, I'm in a good strong position, core is tight. And once you're back on your feet after your 10 reps, take a little breather before we go again. Alright, we've got 3 rounds to get through. You just give me the nod when you're done. That definitely spiked my heart rate a bit. So from a side-on perspective, guys, okay? On my right side now, I'm going to go right knee down, press, right knee up, right knee down, press, right knee down, press, right knee up. Remember, if you need to break the set up, you can do, either when you're standing or when you're kneeling. Down the press, stand. Looking to maintain a good solid position. And then once you've finished your 10, you're going to safely switch sides and hit 10 on the other side. So remember, if it's a dumbbell, you can play around with where you're holding it. With the kettlebell, you're kind of dictated to by either keeping it sitting quite high. It's more of a challenge if you keep it tucked in here, because you've got further to press it. Okay, but it is going to be a more stable position to press from. So when I'm on my left side, I clean it up, and then I start with same knee down to both knees to press, to same knee up. I'm going to work through my repetitions here. Core tight when I press, and we're looking for 10 reps. Nice and tight. Same knee down as the weight on the weight side. Same knee up. And once you finish your 10, take a breather before we go back to that side. Nice, guys. Okay. I got one more round, 10 on each side to go. Remember, take your time. If you get there before me, nicely done. You can have a break before I get there. All right, so my weight's in my right hand. I go right knee down and press. Right knee up, right knee down. Notice that when I'm pressing, I'm not leaning into that press, okay? Core stays tight. If my shoulder's starting to burn and fatigue, which it might do, I'm just going to rest here before I carry on. I swing it back up and stand. Good work. How are we all doing? Good. That's it, guys. Remember, just give me a nod or a wave or a thumbs down when you get there. I've got my left side left to do. Good. Remember, it's the same leg, same knee down first, and the same knee comes up first. Nice and controlled through the entire movement. If I keep a really narrow base, it becomes more difficult to balance. What I mean by that is if I come down really narrow and my knees are together, if I'm a little bit wider, I'll find that I've got more room to move and I've got a stronger, more stable base. And then when you finish, take a breather. Whew. Nicely done. Just nice and methodically work your way through, making sure when you're down in this position that we're not leaning back or leaning over into that press, and just keep working your way through. Nicely done. Good. Awesome stuff, guys. Remember, quality over quantity. If you're starting to struggle, take the press out and just work through the get up. Okay, that kneeling get up might actually be enough for you in this final round, especially the last couple of reps. If you get in 5 or 6 reps of the press, Mark's mind is blown. He's done. Good, guys. Once you're finished, have a little move around, shake out any tension, grab yourselves a drink. Nicely done. Great work, guys. All right. Yeah, that's fine, mate. That's perfect, okay? Just getting up and down sometimes can be hard enough, especially when we've already taxed the legs and the shoulders a little bit. That can definitely be a challenge. Okay? Good stuff. Cheers, Mark. Thanks, mate. All the best. Okay. We have got one more thing to do. And if you remember what we did in the warm-up with the get up and how we broke that down, we're going to do that once on each side, but with the weight in hand. Okay? So if you're using a kettlebell, it needs to be sitting in your hand, not completely straight. It needs to be at about 45 degrees, okay? Because it's going to sit firmly on the back of your arm. If you're holding a dumbbell, then you'll hold it like a regular dumbbell, okay? So we are going to work through 5 reps of the sit-up, 5 reps of the bridge, 5 reps of the windmill, 5 lunges, and then bring the weight down. We'll do it once on the other side, okay? Because we've already targeted the legs and the shoulders quite considerably in terms of some volume, this is going to be very challenging for the stabilizers of the shoulder, okay? So let's see how we go. So we're going to be down on the floor. The arm that I'm starting with, I'm going to have the same knee up. Alright, so that weight is sitting firmly supported in my hand. It's not sitting straight across my hand like a bar, and the weight is resting on my forearm. From here, I'm pushing that weight towards the ceiling all the time, and I sit up and come back down. We want 5 reps here. Lying back flat every time. And notice how as I'm sitting up to the side slightly on the 5th repetition. Once I'm sitting up and I've got my arm posted, I'm now going to do a glute bridge on this bent leg side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then from here the challenging bit, can I bring that leg underneath the body? So now I've got my triangle, hand, foot and knee. The weight's still perpendicular to the ceiling. Straighten up, hand back down. Straighten up, hand back down. So I'm trying to turn and rotate. I'm bringing my head and shoulder together. Once I've got 5 here, I'm in my good half kneeling position. Back toe into the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to come back together. Bring the weight down. Lower it down. Once on the other side as my little finisher, and then I'm done. So I'm back down on the floor, bringing the weight into my left hand now, bringing my left knee up, leaving my right leg out, making sure that I'm actively pushing this weight towards the ceiling. From this position, I'm going to sit up and push the weight to the ceiling, and then come back down, and then up and down. Strong through the core to sit up. On the 5th repetition, we stay up, and from this position, my hand is now a post, and I glute bridge on my left leg. Once I've done, got my 4th and my 5th, I bring the straight knee, straight leg to under the body, so my knee's underneath my hip, and I straighten up. And I come back down and straighten. Once I'm on my 5th one, I straighten up on my 5th one, I plant my back foot into the ground, and I lunge. This is it, guys, finish it off. And once we're done, weight down. So something a little bit technical to finish off the session there. So with that Turkish get-up, it's about being able to dissociate your shoulder from the rest of the body. The arm wants to stay vertical throughout the entire movement, and that involves all of the stabilizing shoulders and muscles around the shoulder and the shoulder blade, which is actually really beneficial in terms of us being desk bound and at a workstation that might be suboptimal at the moment. Putting some health and function and kind of demand through those stabilizing muscles actually really will help with the health of neck and shoulder. So yes, absolute killer. Good job, mate, well done. All right, take your time, have a little drink. We've got a short little cool down, and then we'll be done. Oh, need to pop the lid. Nice, guys, that was about half an hour of solid work. Lots and lots and lots of repetitions there. Okay, and when we're dealing with relatively moderately light weights, more repetitions is what we need to elicit that training response, okay? Good, nicely done. All right, let's Let's cool ourselves down. Start to bring our heart rate down. Start to move our bodies in a slightly different way. So find all four kneeling position. Okay? Back nice and flat, chin tucked in. All we're going to do from here is get you to look forward and squeeze the shoulder blades and tip your pelvis so that your tailbone sticks up in the air. From this position, drop your chin into your chest, push the floor away, start to round through your shoulder blades, then crunch in through your rib cage, tuck your tail underneath, pull your belt buckle up and sit back towards your heels, just a little bit to open up that lower back. Slowly come back up, you're still in that angry cat position. Slowly reset the pelvis, start to squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your head and look forward. One more time, chin in, push the floor away, start to lift, pulling your sternum, your breastbone towards your belly button, lift your belt buckle, zip, do your zip up and sit back towards your heels. Good, and then come back up and slowly flatten back out. Good. Take your knees a bit wider than your hips, bring your toes together and push your hips back through towards your heels. Hands out in front so that we're in a child's pose. And just breathe here. Get your hands as far away from your hips as you can. And try and control your breathing. Good. Take your right hand and place it on top of your left. You should now open up this side of your body, your right hand side of your body a little bit more. Good, then come back to the centre and then take your left hand, place it over your right hand and allow that left hand side of your body to open up a little bit more. Good. Slowly walk yourself up into a tall kneeling position, and then we're going to go into a half kneeling position. Good. In this half kneeling position, all I want you to do is both hands to the ceiling and just let your weight sit onto that front leg to open up the structures on the front of the hip, your hip flexors in particular. Good. Then your opposite hand to your front leg. Bring it down on the outside of the knee and just draw yourself into a big rotation and take your free arm around as far as you can. Try and look at that back hand, at your back thumb. Good. Slowly come back to centre and change over. Both hands up to the ceiling and then let your weight sink through and be supported by that front leg. And then the opposite hand to the front leg comes down, grabs hold of the outside of the knee. The free hand then, pull yourself into that rotation. Take your free hand around as far as it will go and look round at that hand. So we're opening up the chest, getting a bit of an extra stretch into the hip and into the glute and the front of the back hip. Good. Nice and easy. Back to the centre and then roll over onto your backs. Good. And while we're here, all I want you to do is hug both knees in towards your chest. Okay? Tuck your chin into your chest. You might want to put your hands underneath if you're a bit sweaty. And you're just going to rock back and forth and create a bit of decompression for your lower back. And then feet to the floor, roll yourself up, and we are done. Great stuff, guys.